When we're getting into perimeter screens, this is going to work best if you have a coach out here. Coach Hoffman, can you take the wing here? Give me a line at the point, and give me a line at the wing. Okay. Ball's going to go to Quill. We're going to start the ball with Quill here. Stay in the middle. All right, Quill's going to go ahead. Quill's going to pass the ball to Coach Hoffman. Now, everybody here has got to jump to the ball. Everybody here, he should, because he is 2 passes away. His man is 2 passes away. He's on the other side of the floor. We want him having 2 feet in the lane. And honestly, he needs to almost be straddling the midline here. He's got to at least have a foot on the midline, but straddling the midline is fine, especially if he can't shoot. Okay? If he can't shoot, send him over to the midline. If he can shoot, you may want to say, all right, you need to have 2 feet inside the paint, but you want to straddle the lane here. The kid's a shooter. Okay? If he's unbelievable at shooting, then we say, all right, face guard, don't leave him. For the sake of what you guys are doing with the feeder program, I would say get them to the midline because that's what they have to learn how to do. The hardest thing is jumping to the ball for them. When we pass over here in the wing, now Will's going to go and he's going to screen away. When he screens away, 2 things that we got to see right here. Number 1 is this. Isaac here has to be 1 man removed. What we call by 1 man removed right here, Isaac is the key to this whole situation. Because if Isaac jumps to the ball, that's going to leave space for him to fight through the screen. And everything we wanted him to do is we want him to fight through. So go ahead and go screen away. We want Defoe to take this path right here. Now the other thing that we also want, and Defoe is going to learn this here real quick, is he needs to play the game, not the drill. Okay? And what we say by play the game and not the drill is, if he can backdoor, go ahead and backdoor. If he's trying to jump it, go ahead and backdoor. Make him stay honest. Okay? Let's go ahead and let's watch this here. Here we go. Stop. No talking. I didn't hear one person say help. Defense, give me 3 push-ups right now. Let's go. 3, because it's 8:40. Gotta talk. Gotta talk. Here we go. Stop. Okay. Now, if you take a look, you see what Brandstetter did. Brandstetter kind of faded. That was good offense. Okay. He kind of faded off the screen because he saw that Defoe was going to try to go through. He was going to try to fight through that screen. And that's why we say you want to play the game, not the drill. Okay. What we technically want to see on a simple screen away. Let's go ahead and get back in this little screen away situation right here. We're going to walk through this now. Isaac is off to the ball, and he is giving Defoe space. He has to give him space to get through. We call this 1 man removed. It's enough space that you can fit a man right through there. 1 man removed. Okay? We want to fight through screens. If Isaac is not 1 man removed, and he's hugging his player, this is called a double screen, and it's a double screen that we are helping them set. That's bad news. Okay? That means we're screening our own player. If Isaac is able to touch his player as he goes to set a screen, it's bad news. He should not be able to touch his player. Okay? So Isaac, again, if Isaac stays 1 man removed, that gives him space to be able to fight through the screen. And what we want to see our kids do is fight through the screen. We do not switch these screens. The only time that we will ever in a varsity game follow him is if he's shooting lights out from 3. We're going to say, get on his hip, and we call that piggyback. We're going to get right on his hip, and he's a shooter. We're going to grab this right by his side. We're going to try to piggyback him all over the floor. For the sake of feeder, you want to fight through the screens. You guys are going to set continuous screens here. I want to see you fight through every single one of them. Here we go. Stop. Got double screen. This is Defoe didn't jump to the ball. Just got double screen. Okay? He's got to jump to the ball. His man went to go screen away, and he followed him down here instead of actually jumping the ball, and that's where the double screen takes place. And now he's able to get open for a shot at the top of the key because we didn't jump the ball. You got to jump to the ball. You got to jump to the ball. Do it again. One more time. Here we go.
You guys shouldn't have scouting reports this year. You tell your kids the only time they should ever touch the guy that they're guarding is on a blockout. I mean, sometimes in the post you'll have to, but even then we don't want to get in a dogfight down in the post. So the only time you're really touching the guy you're guarding is to block him out. The guys that have to fight and get in a shoving match to not let them front cut, because they didn't jump to the ball to begin with. If they were already off to the ball, the guys weren't even going to try to front cut. So keep that spacing away from your man at all times. Here we go, jump the ball. Jump, jump!
That's what the drill ought to look like. There's a lot of communication right there. They're jumping to the ball, but you're also seeing the offense read screens. It's a great drill to get your kids to read screens and to get after it defensively by jumping to the ball. What you guys are going to see is basic post exchange here. How do we guard post exchanges? Go ahead and give me a line down here on offense. 2 offensive players, 2 defensive players down here. The coach. Post-to-post screens. What we always say on post-to-post screen, or what we'll say on back screen, you want to take their path away. Okay? You got to take their path away. We still jump to the ball, but we say take their path away. You guys are probably going to see, we did a little bit of this with Feeder last year. Okay? Miller's off to the ball. Okay? Miller's on defense, Will's on offense here. Coach Hoffman has the ball. Notice again, the key is he's off to the ball. So with him being off to the ball, this is a hard screen for Will to set now. It's going to be really hard for him to set because he's off the ball. If he's over here hugging his man, if Will turns to go ahead and screen him, it's over. Ball game's over. Okay? Because you're going to be able to get high-low out of this. You're going to be able to get whatever you want to out of this. But if he's off the ball, that's going to make things really, 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 really hard for Will. Okay? Now here's our basic rule. If your man goes to screen away in the post, he has to take the path away first. Okay? His rule is this. Don't get screened. Get your arms out wide and don't get screened. If you're not getting screened, then you're in a good place. Okay? But he has to take his path away. So go ahead and screen away here. Screen away. Okay. Now stop. What you heard, if you were over here, you can hear it. He took his path away. He got in the front, took him until Myers got back and says, "I'm here, I'm here." That's when he gets back to his man. If you want to say, well, how come they can get a lob over the top? Well, in our defense, they better not, because if there's a guy over here, we should have a foot in the paint back here anyway. So they're not going to throw a lob over the top. We'll go get it. But because he was off of the ball, because he's got his arms out wide, because we took the path away, they're not going to get anything on that. Let's go ahead and do this one more time. Again, guarding a post-to-post screen. Again, screen away, takes his path away, gets back to his man. He's still off the ball. Screen away again, screen away again.
Your arm is like this, so that your foot was like that. Your arm was like this. As soon as you hit your arm, you rub your arm in like that.
Don't let him screen. Don't let him screen. Screen away again. One more time. Go. Very good. Takes his path away. Stop. That's. We really need you guys to hit this pretty hard. How we guard ball screens. The feeder team, we're going to hedge it. Okay? Every ball screen we want to hedge. Let's go ahead and get a third person over here, third line for a zone up in the back. Okay. Teams that want to ball screen us, we at the varsity level, we have 5 different ways that we guard ball screens, depending on who the offense is, what they're doing. For feeder team, just have one. Make it an aggressive hedge, because it's the hardest one to do. If you can teach them how to hedge, they can do everything else. Okay? Hedge is for, it's an aggressive mentality. It's a mentality that I really want our kids to have. Miller's going to come out and he's going to set a ball screen. Okay? Now, it's not show, it's hedge. It's hedge right now. Okay? The big thing with Will right now is Will wants to turn his body and force the ball handler back in the direction that he's coming from. He does not want to get the ball handler and let the ball handler come back to the floor. He does not want the ball handler to come back to the middle of the floor. If they're setting a ball screen right here, it's because they want to get the ball here. So your goal is to keep it out of the middle. Okay? So Will's going to turn his body, and and he's going to hedge right here and try to stay with him until Brandstetter gets back to his man. When Brandstetter gets back and he says, I got him, Will sprints back to his man. Now, the other thing that we're going to do, so we've got the hedge, Brandstetter gets back over the top. The big thing here is Isaac. We call this zone up in the back. If you're not involved in the ball screen, you're zoning up. We're saying everybody has to be on that side of the floor of the ball screen. So now it's not get to the midline, now it's get to that side of the floor. He's got to get all the way over here. We want him to have to throw this pass all the way over the top. Go ahead and throw the pass all the way over the top. And now he can get out there and play closeout basketball, and we don't get hurt, and we don't give up a layup, and they've got to hit a three-point shot with 2 hands up in his face. And that's not something a lot of teams can do. Some teams can, but not a lot of them can. We can win a lot of games that way. So, with the ball screen drill, what you want to make sure that you're doing on a ball screen drill, you want to get a screener down low, you want to get a guard out to that wing, and you want to get somebody else over here on this wing, offensive, defense. Make that defender come down here, zone up in the back. Let this guy out top set continuous screens. Let this post player, he can set some continuous ball screens over here, and they can keep playing side to side. But it's constant hedge, and it's constant zoning up in the back. Let's go ahead and play 3-on-3 with ball screens. Here we go. Okay, he let him get back. He let him get back to the, you see how he let him start to get to the middle of the floor. He's got to keep him on that side of the floor. That's why this is a very hard thing to do. Go ahead and do it again. That wasn't too bad. Okay, do it again one more time. Quill, I do not want him getting in the middle of the floor. Get your butt down and do not let him attack the middle. Good, stop. Now, you see what just happened there? We took away the roll. Because we take away the roll, now he's got to make another pass. In a real game, you got 5 other people out here. If you got 5 other people out here, they're probably not going to be able to get an easy skip pass like that, and an easy kick out like that. You got a lot of hands in it. I'm sorry, you got 2 other people out here, but you know, you get my point. So that's based on our ability to close out, okay? And what we want is we want the other team, if they're going to beat us, it's because they're making threes with hands in their face. Because that's just a very difficult shot to make. So everything that we do is based on our ability to close out. So what we're going to do is we're going to work on closeouts. This is called full court closeouts. He's going to sprint up to the elbow. Go ahead. His hands up. He's going to defensive slide over here. Sprint up. Hands up. And again, he's got to try to make a diamond with his hands. This is closeout. Keep your hands out here like this when you're tired. Good shooters shoot right in between. It would be a field goal. Be 3 plus the other 3. They get 6 points on this. Okay? You got to get your hands right here. You got to show that diamond. We're not going to try to shoot in between that. Let's get the hands up in the face, keep the butt down low, and when that ball comes down, that's when the hands come down and you've got to learn how to move your feet. So that's why it's really important with a drill like this, that you're teaching kids how to get out here, get hands up, butt down, and you slide right after they close out. Because what teams are going to do, when they see you with your hands up, you're just trying to put the ball on the floor and drive right around. So this stops them from driving right around you as long as you make this game on. Let's go, 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 go. One time, we're going to stay on the other side of the floor.